One man can change the world with a bullet in the right place.
Welcome back to the internet bromance known as the New to Pew podcast. My name is Max Fallis. I am your co-host, and the bright shining star next to me is...
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, if you slow down, I'll answer your question. That is the BBR Bagman. How are you, sir?
We're back from IV8888, recording episode 16 of New to Pew, and I'm excited to be here with all our zany sounds on the soundboard that have spurned so much hate and negative feedback. Guess what? I love them, so they're staying.
The audience is divided, ladies and gentlemen. Some like the little quick cut sound effects, and some don't. We appreciate all the feedback, though, and thank you for giving it to us.
Some people like fun, and some people don't. Apparently, you and Armin don't like fun, because you were supposed to come to IV8888 Range Day and do all the fun things, and you couldn't go because of your boo-boo. Yeah. Armin backed out at the last second.
Oh.
So Angelo and Brian and I went down and had a insanely good time.
This will be the Twisting the Knife episode, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not like I didn't want to go. I just couldn't and still generate a paycheck because...
No. Yeah, and maybe that's what we should call this episode, Twisting the Knife.
Okay. I'll you know what? We'll subtitle it. Best of both worlds.
Listen, so the good news is I have a little video montage to share with you. And even if our listening audience can't see the video, Angelo put this together. I think he did an outstanding job. I'm sending it to you in the BBR network now. So if you want to open up that link and share that video, we can listen to all the good times that were had, the warm and affectionate messages from our dear friends who attended the event with us. And I think this is going to be a real treat for everyone who hears it, especially you and Armin.
Max, you know, you don't need to be dropping a freaking safe on your foot like an idiot and messing up your freaking toes. You know you're not supposed to do that, right? So quit that shit. Hey Max, it's Gabriel from DigitalTrigger, man. Just wondering where the heck you're at. We showed up here specifically to talk to you, and you're not here. So we're not doing that interview. Sorry, bro.
Max, what's the deal? We can't believe you're not here. We're about to test out a Star Wars blaster. Could have been a blast. You had eight other toes, so.
Oh, hey Max. So while you're over there being a little Sally girl, nursing your toes, that no pickies are hurting. By the way, safes traditionally go on the floor, not on your phalanges. So while we're here having a great time spreading freedom, you're at home all kicked up being a sad little boy. So we hope you're doing great. We hope you're here next time. And remember, heavy things do not go on you; they go next to you. Stay safe.
Max from New to Pew. Why the fuck aren't you here?
Thank you, Max. I mean, who needs toes to shoot? You need fingers. You're good, man. Should have been here.
Max from New to Pew. Why aren't you here? You suck.
Hello, Armand. I'm Pat here at the Henry booth. We've got two of the X models here. We've got the X model 4570 and the 357. Angelo says you couldn't make it. We're sad you couldn't. Have a wonderful day.
All right, we got to do this one quick. I'm here with Ben from DigitalTrigger. So they have a line of electronically controlled trigger packs for various firearms. Ben's going to give you the quick breakdown, and hopefully we can do this before we get caught. Go ahead, Ben.
Alrighty. So what we have here is a digital hybrid trigger system. Okay, what you get is you get your standard AR trigger.
I told you we weren't doing this. Max isn't here. We're not doing this, Max. Max isn't here. We're not doing this. So it's over. Our interview's over. This is your fault, Max. It's your fault.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I don't understand. I've been looking forward to the moment of meeting you my entire life. Like, there's no higher honor or expectation I had than showing up to this event and meeting you, Max. And you failed me in every way, shape, or form. Half of these guns are brought here just for you.
we were going to put them away, and now we have to because we found out you're not coming, so nobody else should have the purse to shoot this except for you. And it's just really hurting us, man. As a company as a whole, you're failing us.
What's up, bro? Sorry you couldn't make it to the event, but I heard that you did it to yourself because you decided to drop a light-ass safe on your foot and break it. Used up all your sick time. No go, sir. No go.
So I heard that all the cool kids are at the Iraq Veteran Shoot. And then I heard there were some jerks that couldn't make it because they're lazy, they have no drive in life, and they don't want to be successful. So shouts out to you for being a lazy piece of shit.
Hey Max, I'm the Mike you guys talked about on the podcast. I'm here with CMMG, and you're not. That sucks. But just to let you know, in the future, had you shown up, you would have been able to shoot the full auto Mark 47, which makes you manly, and you would have been able to heal from that broken toe.
Good? All right, so for real this time, Ben's going to tell you about DigitalTrigger because these are amazing. This is the cutting edge stuff. This is the far science being brought into firearms at this point. Go ahead, Ben, for real this time.
I appreciate that. It's not quite not for real this time. This is the second time they tried to pull this crap, Max. We're not doing it. Take a walk. Beat it.
Max, you suck! Hey, Max, what's going on, man? Why aren't you here right now? I heard you did something to yourself or something like that, but brother, you should be here right now. I was gonna go up to New Jersey, but it's not even worth it anymore. Guess what, bro? We miss you here. We wish you were here. Sorry, man, you're missing out, though.
Why aren't you here, bro? Were you scared to get your little tootsies wet or something? A little kitty cat? You got some cat in your DNA or something? What's going on, man? Come on.
Max, dude, I'm not disappointed. Well, I am disappointed, but I'm also upset.
Hey Max, this is Jared with TaylorIsFeral, and we are at the Iraq Veteran 8888 shoot. You could have been here had you spent the $100 extra and had someone move your safe for you. Not only does that cost you this awesome event, it's also cost you from learning to shoot a proper 1911, as I've heard you like them very much. So next year, get some buddies to help you. The only thing left to do is shoot yourself in the foot, so don't do that. Safe is bad enough. Maybe we'll see you next year. If not, I don't know, man. Maybe this isn't the industry for you.
Anybody downrange?
Oh, man. It's hot today.
Everybody come downrange.
It's crazy.
Last call. Anybody downrange?
We didn't get the rain, so that's the good news.
Yeah, no rain's great, though. I mean, what's even better is that Max actually isn't here. I'm glad he didn't show up. Can you imagine if he would have actually been here? This would have been a drag.
It's not that bad. I mean, like,
I don't know, man. I haven't figured out how to like him yet. Give it time.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I don't know, man.
I haven't figured out how to like him yet. That's the best fucking
is that the greatest line in this whole thing or what?
Holy shit. I haven't figured out how to like him yet. Oh my god. Oh my god. That has officially brought tears to my eyes.
So when we... Everybody that participated in it was phenomenal, right? And we basically told them, like, the short version of what had gone on, that you would hurt yourself, you were out of time, and you just couldn't make it. It was really an unfortunate series of events. And to just give you as much shit as they wanted to when we started the cameras. Gabe from DigitalTrigger was so over the top with different ideas. And his partner, Ben, that was there with DigitalTrigger, he didn't let Ben in on it. So every time we go to do the interview with Ben, he'd interrupt and shut it down. And Ben is like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, my
It was
God.
so good. And then that last clip is us sitting around the table, and and he's doing it again. Oh, my God. Yeah, really, really funny stuff.
I love you, Angelo, for making the best line I've ever heard spoken about me ever. I haven't figured out how to like him yet. Oh.
No, that was Gabe from DigitalTrigger.
Oh, that was Gage. Okay. Wow. That,
yeah.
I'm literally tearing up for the outpouring of pure disrespect and love from everyone who I have not even met yet. Thank you very much,
and you got
folks.
You got it from some of the biggest people in the industry. I mean, we started off with Eric from IV8888. Like, he's the man who runs the event. He's the host with the most. And there he is, first one up, giving you shit.
Telling me how much I suck. So, as I always say.
Yeah, everybody was great.
As I always say, though, Bagman, it's the will of the universe. Because now we have more content. We've got wonderful people shouting us out, telling me how much I suck. A couple of those sound clips will be joining the soundboard because, yeah. And I'll see you all next year. Scouts.
Yeah, and shout out to the team from MEANARMS who took 4 takes just to go, Max, you suck. Like, couldn't get it together.
Specifically for them.
I'll get you, bitch.
I'll get you, bitch. Yes. Nice. That's awesome. All right, so while I download this wonderful Christmas card, give me a rundown of all the cool stuff that you did get to see. I got a couple of videos of you, letting freedom ring, and so run it down, man.
Yeah,
what'd you see?
There's a ton of stuff. There were a bunch of manufacturers there, like we talked about. Tons and tons of machine guns. I would have to get like a checklist to go over everything because there's just so much. We could do 4 episodes just talking about all the things I touched and checked out and participated in, and yeah, it was a tremendously good time. Everybody there was phenomenal. Everything from machine guns to suppressors, antique vintage firearms, and I saw one of my personal unicorns there, and unfortunately didn't get a chance to shoot it, but I did see somebody had a Daewoo USAS 12, which is the universal self-loading auto shotgun. It's so rare it's only been in like 2 or 3 movies, because I think there's maybe half a dozen in the US.
Okay.
But there was one there, so maybe next year I can get my hands on it and try it out. But yeah, there was a ton of awesome stuff.
But what makes before you move on to that, what makes it rare? The company shut down and stopped production, or?
So Daewoo is a Korean manufacturer.
The same people that make like TVs and shit and stereos? That Daewoo?
TVs, heavy equipment. Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
But and there's some other Daewoo firearms that are also known for being extremely rare in the US. But that's one of my dream guns. So and it's literally the only time I've ever seen it in person. I went, ooh. Ooh, and then when I went to find who the owner was, it was gone again. So we'll track it down next year and get some time on it.
Huh.
But I did get a chance to talk to the gunsmith who worked on it, so that was cool.
So did they stop making them? Is that what makes it so rare, or?
Not only did they stop making them, but very few were imported into the U.S. from what I understand. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Damn.
And like I said, I can only think of 2 movies where it was in the movie, and it was in the movie for all of like 5 seconds.
Well, 5 seconds isn't too long. Maybe I can put an audio clip in there, and if you tell me what movies it was.
Yeah, we'll do that later. just so you can have like one Steven Seagal clip where he goes boom, 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 and that was it. That was the whole thing. Like, he shot it and threw it on the ground and moved on to something else.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was that brief.
So you said self-loading. That's not.
Yeah, it's basically a semi-auto.
Okay.
Right. Technically it's a full auto, but yeah, it's a full auto 12 gauge shotgun. It looks like an M16 on steroids. It's a cool piece of history.
So it's magazine.
There was a 50. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a 50 cal machine gun there that had a custom American flag Cerakote job done on it. That was pretty cool.
I saw the cannon.
Cannon. They have a cannon there. That's usually how they start everything, is they fire the cannon and everybody opens up for the mad minute. I had my RPK, which is semi-auto only, but it's one of the previous models put together by Century Arms. Mm-hmm. And Century Arms was there and did not bring their RPK, so I took mine over and set it up in their booth. Mm-hmm. And I saw other people doing reviews of my RPK, which I thought was kind of cool.
Nice. Little rock star you.
Yeah, it was good. I also picked up Classic Firearms has an exclusive alien green US Palm mag. US Palm is part of CenturyArms, as is Canic. So it's all one umbrella company. And I had the brand new alien green US Palm mags, so I left one of those there too. People were trying that out and reviewing it. It's an exclusive through Classic Firearms, but it's still a cool thing that they're doing. I also thought to bring my 75 round drums that work in AKs, RPKs, and I would like to say the Mark 47 Mutant, but unfortunately we've tried it 2 years in a row and I can't get the drum to run in the Mutant. The Mutant is just too fast and the mag can't keep up with it. So ran great in everything else we tried it in, but the Mutant, you really need a good heavy spring, fast operating drum to keep up with that thing because the cyclic rate is pretty quick.
So because of the cycle rate, the drum spinning wasn't spinning fast enough to feed into it?
Couldn't keep up with it, and we were getting jams and malfunctions and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So Paul Roberts, who's a fantastic photographer who's there every year, got photos and video. By the time this episode airs, he should have the results out there, so this isn't a spoiler. But he just posted today. We're recording on October 5th. He just posted this morning the picture of me holding the drum open at the CMMG station and showing the full drum, and that we were going to try to run it through. But yeah, unfortunately, 2 years in a row, we tried it. Last year, their extractor had an issue, and we blamed it on that. And this year I came back and tried it again, and was still a no-go. The drum just can't keep up. So that was cool. Got to shoot the CMMG Descent, which is their high-end PDW that comes in some interesting calibers like the 5.7. Very, very compact. I don't want to call it a bufferless system, but it's all contained within the upper, so it doesn't have a buffer tube like a traditional AR. It's a different system, and that allows it to be really compact. Really, really cool. I spent a lot of time with the folks from Wolfpack Armory, and one of the things they had was their RPK, and because they are a Class 3 dealer and manufacturer and all that good stuff, their RPK is full auto. So I took my drum and put it in their RPK and ran 75 rounds through that in a single burst, which was a lot of fun. And I did it 3 times because it was cool. So there should be some good video of that coming out too. They do a bunch of stuff. They had a 9mm submachine gun. That video is already out. That one came out pretty cool, and they're teasing me in the video because like I'm laughing and giggling because I was having so much fun, and I just look like a big kid shooting this submachine gun. Like I guess I'm supposed to be serious, but when you're having that much fun, you can't help but smile. Stuff and Things was there. They specialize in the absurd and making the impossible possible. And they had some really creative stuff. They took a 22 single action revolver from Heritage Arms called the Barkeep. Heritage is part of the Taurus brand of firearms. And I have a Heritage Rough Rider with a 6-inch barrel that I shoot out to like 100 yards on a fairly regular basis. It's a great little 22. The Barkeep has a 2-inch barrel. So they took that and they put a couple of tack stamps on it so they could take the little grip off it and put a rifle stock on it. And they threaded that 2-inch barrel, and then they took a 12-gauge shotgun suppressor and stuffed it full of 22 caliber baffles, and they made the most ridiculously suppressed SBR you've ever seen. And they were kind of surprised by the attention that thing got. And my response is, if you can't handle the attention, don't do anything awesome. So
yeah, I saw that. I think I sent you a picture like, yo, what is this?
Right.
Wow.
That was funny too, because I kind of gave you the breakdown on it, and you're like, yeah, okay, Encyclopedia Brown. And I'm like, well, I spent a lot of time and got all the information on it, and it was cool. And then I screenshotted that and I sent it over to Ian at Stuff and Things, and he was just cracking up.
It looked like, again, because we like to reference other episodes, it looked like the old flip book with the vampire head with the mummy feet. It just didn't look like it was supposed to be like that, but it totally worked. So it fired nice and smooth and quiet.
Dude, guys were losing it shooting that thing because it was fun to shoot. They had a magnification scope on it, so it had a decent optic, and guys are just pinging plates with this thing that was making no noise at all.
Wow.
They had another ridiculously large for the caliber suppressor on a 22 bolt action rifle. And again, it was stupid quiet. Like the hammer hitting the firing pin made more noise than any other part of the gun. Like the gun going off made zero sound. It was really incredible. So they're talking about pushing out some ridiculous 22 caliber suppressors onto the market and doing those things. Trying to think of who else. The other cool thing that Stuff and Things had was they just put together their 9mm MP5 SD6, so collapsible stock, integral suppressor. I can't say integral suppressor. It's all one unit. And again, that was full auto. So, Navy SEALs.
Wow.
And that was a conversation Ian and I had leading up to the event. He posted a picture of it on Instagram and talked about like this was something that was cool when I was a kid. The nostalgia is through the roof. You could make the argument that, like VSO does, that there's cooler stuff out there, and MP5 and the word cool don't belong in the same sentence unless you're talking about the nostalgia that goes with it. But I'm okay with just leaning on the nostalgia and saying that thing was friggin' cool, right? Full auto 9mm suppressed was an absolute dream to shoot. Yeah, definitely a bucket list gun. MEANARMS was there. I spent a lot of time with MEANARMS because I am fascinated by their bearing delay system, which is similar to the roller system that is used in the MP5, just improved and updated, and they've included a bunch of other features. They had those set up on full auto, and Angelo has a thermal optic and recorded video with the thermal, and you can see how much heat is dissipated through the barrel and not through the action. Like the bolt stayed black in that video because it just remained so cool, even under sustained fire. And I put, I want to say 6 or 8 30-round mags of 9mm through that. It should have been scorching hot, like almost to the failure point, and had no problem keeping up with it. The barrel was getting hot. They have a new proprietary handguard that should be out in the next couple of months. That's some sort of voodoo material that also doesn't get hot. So if you check out Angelo's videos on Instagram, you'll see that. And Eric from IV8888 came over and ran it too and was really impressed with it. It was cool. I think my favorite pistol from the event would have to be the Ray series from TSOS through SDS Imports. They did 1911s that were amazing. And I'm in contact with Jared, who was in the video and showed you one of their 1911s. And hopefully we can get one in for a review and get you out to the range and shoot it. I specifically asked him for one in 45 ACP, so you can shoot a grown-up caliber through a 1911 instead of the 9mm.
Let's see.
But I'll be listen, full disclosure, the one they brought was 9mm, and it was hot sex.
That's right.
It was nice.
Come to the dark side, Bagman. Come to the
It was really nice. They've got the Ed Brown grip angle on it and everything. It was really, yeah. They've done a really, really nice 1911. Shot the new Canic Rival that comes with all its stuff. Something I hadn't done before that was kind of mundane. At the Century booth, they had their AK pattern. I want to say it was the newest version of the C93, but their AK pattern rifle, and the gentleman running their table brought out the side mount and red dot optic, and that was the first time I've shot a red dot on an AK. That was pretty cool. They also had their 9mm AK pattern rifle, which is an abomination, and I hate to admit how much I liked it.
You're starting to really like abominations, I notice. Your taste is changing.
I don't want to talk about that.
What's the side mount for?
Doc Schoenfeld was very excited when I told him that I shot it and liked it. He's like, I know it's cool, isn't it? And I was like, I hate you.
You
so on the
a side mount, what's that?
So the AK doesn't use like a Picatinny rail because of the way it's built. It has a top cover that's removable. So there's some movement to that top cover. So if you try to mount an optic there, it's going to move around. You're not going to maintain a zero. So they put it's called a side mount rail, and it does not look like a Picatinny rail, but there's a rail on the side of an AK, and there's a specialized mount that attaches to that rail that's on the side of the receiver, and then curves up over the top of the rifle, and you can mount your optic to that. Very traditional Soviet technology.
Yeah,
you found a picture?
I just Googled the AK to see what you're talking about. Yeah, so I see why you can't have a rail on top. I get it now.
Right.
So the side mount kind of makes it curve over and up and down.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like a 90-degree bend, so that you can mount an optic. And I had a lot of fun slapping a steel target at 100 yards with that red dot. It was like easy mode. It was ridiculous. It's hard to cram all this into one episode because there's just so much that was there. And then there's all the people you get to talk to, right? Rapid Fire Rachel was there. Kevin Dixie from No Other Choice was there. Eric, Chad from IV8888, 22 Plinkster was there. We ended up staying in the same hotel as Ruben from Damage Control Customs, who brings out his custom Humvees to the event every year, and also had Batcave had put together a Mac 10 for him that was really nice.
Is that the pink one?
No, I'll send you pictures of it.
Okay.
So his was non-traditional. He had like a really funky kind of upper that had a vertical grip on it and had a stock mounted to it, like it's a multi-stamp, but it's on a transferable Mac 10 receiver. So the upper kind of doesn't matter from a legal standpoint. You can do all that. And then on day 2, he brought it back out with a 9mm upper and a drum magazine, and that was ridiculous. It was just so fast and so smooth to shoot. It was really a dream. And then we had Kelly from Ammunition Depot come over because she was there representing her company and the ammunition that they sell. We had her come over and shoot that too. And she was like, this was awesome. So there's a lot of sharing and caring that goes on at these things. I met Matt Mallory from Meet the Pressers and had a few great conversations with him. He was there with Mandis Products and representing his other company that provides training. He's a law enforcement officer, podcaster, instructor. Like, he's got a resume a yard long, and he's based up in Syracuse, New York. And little insider information I found out, he's ordering stickers from Stuck Not Custom. Wonder who put them onto that guy.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it was a really good trip. A lot of good networking. Tons of conversations with people. There's been a bunch of follow-up stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get Sean Heron in the video from the Firearms Radio Network or John Patton from TGC, but they were both there. Like, there were so many people, we couldn't get everybody. It was just going to be way too much. But yeah, there's a ton of people, and everybody was phenomenal. Met for the first time, Drop It Like It's Scott, who's also a YouTuber and has some great content. Funny guy, very positive, really friendly. We were arguing over there may be a new hashtag coming out, gun lickers, because we were arguing like, no, I licked the TSOS Ray 1911. I get to keep it. And he was like, well, I'll lick it next. I don't care. I ain't scared. Like, whoever gets more germs on it gets to keep it. And Jared's cracking up. Like, yeah. So he was cool. There just so many great people there. Taylor Abney and her husband from Taylor Abney Outdoors. She's great. You know, and not for nothing, I rode down there with Angelo and Brian from the network, who are some of my favorite people, and had a bunch of laughs, and it made a 14-hour drive a hell of a lot more tolerable when you're with good company. So you and Armin missed out.
You're right.
Twist the knife again.
Just watch for the vital organs. I did sit back and try to recon the social medias as much as possible, and I was trying to find all the little pictures that had you in the background and all
I
the
love
cool
how you're
people.
playing Where's Waldo with the bag man.
I got to do something as I'm missing out with all the fun. I have to live vicariously through the
Find
internet.
the ogre in a Hawaiian shirt. That's probably him.
Well, you had in your defense, you had the brightest fucking Hawaiian shirt out there, definitely making you very noticeable. Size, you know, not accounting for size, you were definitely the brightest out there. You know,
yeah.
I'm curious to like how everything worked now that I've seen it, because it looked like the booths and tables were on a back row, and then there was, I guess, the firing line, and then there were tables.
So there's actually two rows of booths and tables, and then at the firing line they also set out tables, and that was done so that the guns you're actually using are on the firing line. And it's a safety protocol, right? So you're not running back and forth with guns and all that stuff. And there were some that we had to move around, but it was all done very carefully and professionally. But in general, things were set up so that you could walk up to the firing line, try manufacturer stuff, have a good time, get your content made, get your photos, get your reviews, get your videos, and then go back to the booth and talk to the people about the different products they had. So yeah, there was a lot, just so much. And you'll see, like, Angelo did a tremendous job shooting a ton of video. I know Brian got a bunch of video. And I can't stress this enough. Like, as much as I seem like a one-man show at times, I really am not. I can't stress how much support I have with you and everybody on the network, and Angelo and Brian at the event. I can't do this alone, and I am tremendously grateful for all you guys and the level of participation you put into this to get us all where we're trying to go. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot more video coming, and then the contacts I made with the manufacturers down there, I'm trying to get stuff in so we can start doing reviews and, you know, getting more people on some of these products and expanding awareness of certain brands that aren't getting enough traffic. I really was impressed with, like, CMMG, TSOS. Yeah, there's a few that really need some more exposure, and we're going to do what we can to help them with that.
From what I'm seeing, I know I missed out on some cool shit. And
oh, dude,
just go on Instagram and just hashtag search IV8888. And a ton of great content is already popping up, and I can only imagine we're not even a full week away. So,
yeah, Eric has been a gun tuber for a long time, and he's got tremendous content on his channel. And then anybody else who gets to go down to these events, also, I said it on the previous episode, it's just so much in such a confined space. You can create 3 months worth of content in one weekend because it's just a rich environment. So Yeah, search IV8888 Range Day, and you'll get a ton. Any of the influencers or YouTubers or content creators that were down there are cranking out so much stuff just having been there for 2 days, and I can't thank people enough. Brandy and Eric put on a tremendous event. Chris, that owns Red Hill Range, is phenomenal and probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. And yeah, there's a lot. I'm really grateful for the experiences, and I'm proud to be involved with it every year. So, and our stickers were in the goodie bags this year.
Yes.
Right? Because there's an exclusive event T-shirt. There's a goodie bag that everybody receives when they get there. A bunch of manufacturers put a ton of great stuff in there, and I was very pleased that we got our stickers from Stuck Not Custom done in time to get them in there. And there's going to be so much more coming because of that exposure and the fact that we've started this podcast a couple of months ago and I was able to talk about it while I was there. Everybody I told about it, so Kevin Dixie, for example, comes over and he goes, "Hey, what's up, bud?" And I was like, "Hey, we talked for a little bit and I told him that I started with you with this new podcast." And he's like, "How many episodes in?" I was like, "I think we're on episode 13. He goes, "Well, that's 12 too many. Why haven't I been on it yet?" So Kevin's willing to come on the show. We'll get an interview with him. He's great. And again, that's going to be like a multi-parter because once you get going with Kevin, you're not going to want to stop. He's a phenomenal person and has a ton of various experiences to bring to the table that come from a different perspective. And he's just got so much to offer. He's one of the great minds of the industry at this point. Yeah, we're going to pull a lot of people and get some interviews in, whether they are folks who work for manufacturers or folks who work for the advocacy side. Yeah, we've got probably 14 guests lined up for future episodes. So,
well, let me ask you this. Do you have a sponsor lined up for this episode?
Yeah, this week's sponsor is Barton Watch Bands. So they make a tremendous line of watch bands. They've got something for every budget, and whether you've got something, a really high-end timepiece or a rugged piece of everyday wear that you just want to dress up a little bit, they've got a watch band for every option. Whether it's a smartwatch or a dumb watch like mine that only tells time, they've got a great option. Currently, I'm wearing one of their new canvas navy camo, and that matches the blue face on this particular watch, and I love it. So check them out. We'll put an affiliate link in the section below, and you can take advantage of that. So that's it for this episode. Be sure to check out the sponsors we mentioned earlier. If you want to join the conversation, you can email us at new2pew@blackbagresources.com. You can check out the website, blackbagresources.com. And if you really want to go deep, you can check out the Black Bag Resources Network and become a part of the community. Thanks for listening.